Hi y'all, and welcome to my channel. It's so great to be back with y'all again. I missed doing stuff for y'all and talking to y'all. So if you will recollect in my last video, I mentioned a giveaway for my 1-year YouTube anniversary, which is coming up on November 27th. And I'm having that giveaway starting today. There are two simple rules. One, you have to be a subscriber. Number two, in the comments on this video and future videos, comment only one time with the words pick me. Okay? Pick me. So only enter one time. If you enter multiple times, that's not going to count because I'm going to write down your name and put it in the hope box like I did with my 500 subscriber giveaway. So, yep, y'all are going to get to see the pretty purple box again. So, as you can tell, today is Snowflake Day because the weather's getting cooler. Now, here in Southeast Texas, we have cool fronts, and then we gets warm, and then it gets warm, and then we have cool fronts, and then it gets warm, until it just finally ends up being cold for the rest of the few months of winter that we have. So there's the papa of the papa sized snowflake, and I've got the white pigment paste, and this is a two-faced chameleon, which mixed in resin, it has a blue hue to it. And I thought I would mix things up, or so I thought, with this holiday ball decoration. And I was going to paint the dots silver with the silver leafing pen and the stripes with the gold leafing pen, and then fill up the ornament with white. But as you'll see later, I chose not to do that. And just looking with hindsight, I could have done it. Um, all of those glitters are from Arteza, and that's the blue one is a cornflower blue, and then I have I think a titanium silver. I've got a couple of holographics in there, but the names will be linked in the description below. I got them in a box of, I think, 52, something like that, on sale, which was a really good sale. So I'm going to be using, I'm not going to be using that long pipette, but I will be using the short pipette to pipe in the resin in there, because if I poured resin in all of those little snowflakes, it would be everywhere, because they're so tiny that, yeah, I mean, yeah, it wouldn't look pretty. So I've got my resin mixed up. That's 6 ounces of resin, which was way more than I needed, and I really don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm putting that aside for now, and I will use it in a future video though, because I do have an idea for the next video. So you'll see me pour the clear resin and then putting the white pigment paste in the resin. Now, just like with anything else that you put in your resin, If it's pigment paste, stir it up really, really well. If it's powder, stir it up really, really well. Alcohol inks, come in a bottle, so shake them up really well, just so you won't have problems later on when you're trying to mix that in with your resin. And right there, I'm thinking, oh lordy, I'm gonna have to use more of this. But when I used it before, it was on black, or it was with black, and it had just, I didn't have to use very much of it. It had a really cool effect. So later on, you'll see that it didn't show up in the white. So lesson learned, don't use that type of powder with the white. So this one was easy, except for the little ring right there. But with hindsight being 2020, I was thinking, Goober, why didn't you just mix up all the white into your resin, and then pour out the white, the amount of white that you'll think you'll need? Hello. Anyway, if y'all have been with me for a while, you know that I like to use a lot of my leftover resin in these car coasters, which are etched with a mandala pattern on them. And I have made a video showing how I paint the top, resin the top, with the top coat. I don't know what number it is, but yeah, if you're interested, you can look back and see what I'm talking about. And of course, I have this video sped up quite a bit, so don't, if you're not familiar with using resin in a pipette, it your resin's not going to suck up that fast into that tube or bulb or whatever you call it. But in doing these type of coasters where you have very small spaces, take your time. Don't rush. Don't be in a hurry, because if you do, you're going to have a bunch of overflow, and just clean up that you're not going to have to do later. So what I'm going to do with the rest of the resin, the rest of, ugh, hello, with the rest of the leftover resin, is pour it into that one car coaster mold. And I just use the same pipette for all of the snowflakes. There's really no reason to use a different pipette for each one, because I'm using the color white, and the glitter that may be residue inside of that pipette, there's not that much there that's really going to make a difference. Yep, that's a lot of silver glitter in there. Yep, a little bit heavy-handed, and yeah, I I regretted it later, trust me. With some projects, yeah, you can get heavy-handed with the glitter, but with something like this, no. And I had an idea of how I wanted these to look when they're finished, but they didn't come out looking like I wanted them to. But, it's okay. They still came out okay. Oh, a lot of blue. Oh, Lordy. I can't help myself, y'all. It's hard to just put very little glitter. One of these days, maybe I will pay attention and learn. And y'all can tell that snowflake right there does, yeah, you can tell it's blue, definitely. And the resin didn't want to flow inside one of those little tips. So I took a toothpick and just lightly, and I mean lightly, encouraged it to flow into where it needed to. You don't need to touch the bottom of your mold or anything because it will scratch the silicone. Ooh. Yeah, was not having a good day. And why I thought that I could just suck up all of that, I could, but yeah, it would definitely take a real long time. So I just, I had to laugh at myself because I was just so careless. And I left it in the video so y'all can see that, artists make mistakes too, but a lot of them will edit out their mistakes. So you'll think that maybe, everything that they're doing is perfect, it's right on time. No. So I left it in here not only so I can go back and laugh at myself, but y'all can laugh along with me. And that is the very first time since I've started my resin journey. That's the very first time that I have ever spilled resin. I shouldn't say anything, but I might curse myself or something, but I mean that's the first time I've spilled, so there's a first time for everything. And I'm using a silicone paintbrush because that just seems to work better than the toothpick. Now I do have some overflow there, and I would have used the micro brush, but it was difficult for me to tell where I needed to clean up at because of the resin was being so white that it was just difficult. So I thought I'll just let it cure. I can take my Dremel and drill the holes Now you saw there for a split second that I was planning on using shaped molds because I want to make a necklace, and then I thought, no, because there's not going to be enough resin left, even if I were to fill up all the different shapes to make a necklace. So I opted out and went for my rosy heart mold. So I'm just mixing it in real good, or real well. And there's my hair in there. What in the heck? Oh man, I mean, this is with this project, this is not the only thing that has just gone weird this week. So I'm going to pour from up high because that mold has teeny tiny nooks and crannies in it that if you pour from up high, you're less likely to get the air pockets when you demold. Um, don't want the air pockets because if you just pour it in there, it's your yeah, it'll cause air bubbles to come up to the top, and it's real easy to get rid of the air bubbles. But in some places, the air bubbles may not rise to the top. So it's more likely that when you demold, you'll have those air pockets. Now, I came back a lot later because you'll see brown on there. I came back a lot later and found those air bubbles, and I just shot it real quick with my torch. But the front came out nice, pretty. That would be pretty painted. Now this, I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. No, no, that's not good. That's a dud. Now this one came out okay. And with white, you can put any color with it. Now those are still bendy, as you can see. Now I use Paduo resin, and usually with Paduo, you can come back like 10 hours later, and it'll be hard enough to take out of the mold. And then of course it takes a lot more time for it to just totally cure. But yeah, 10 hours later, this is, more than 10 hours later, not by much, but, they're still bendy. And I think it's because it's cold outside for now. Wait a few days and it'll be back up to 80 degrees outside. And with this, yeah, I think that's the one that had a lot of blue glitter in it. It still came out pretty, but it's a little more glitter than what I really wanted. And since it is bendy, just if you're doing these type of molds to where you have a lot of intricate pieces, do take your time because especially with it being bendy like this, it's real hard. It's real easy to um, it's real easy to tear it. Or maybe bend it in a way to where it's stuck and you have a hard time unsticking it. So you can't really see, there's just a very slight hint of sparkle in there, which is originally what I wanted to do with all of them. And you can't really see it. And there's a picture coming up. I didn't put the big one, the granddaddy snowflake. I didn't put him in the picture, but yeah, all of the rest of the smaller ones I did. But you still can't see the sparkle in the picture either. But I like how they turned out, with the exception of the overflow. So y'all take care, be kind, stay healthy, and I'll see you later.